Okay, getting this one out a little later, but again, we see the price action at the previous highs. We know that we have about, let's see, we have about 9 bars in. 2 of them are red, so we know that we should have some type of pullback going in. But again, looking at the weekly, we have the lighter volume, but again, it hasn't broken below a low of any sort, so we got to be really careful trying to guess where the top is. Just a retracement does not mean a top. A retracement or a turn means that you're just getting something. It could be simple, like, well, this one was pretty deep, but again, you see this one again. But this price action is not giving anything that's showing any weakness. Again, I expect some type of pullback just because it's breaking new highs. But again, it could continue to the upside. That's why I said not to initiate any positions, but more tighten the stops of what you currently have going on. QQQ. Same thing. In this, funny that it could, if it breaks above this highs, it could actually rip to the upside and probably take out a lot of people that are trying to guess the high. Again, it's just to say, okay, we see the weakening volume on this, but it has not given any type of signal to say to go short or anything. And I don't understand why people want it. Everybody wants to guess the top. I just don't get it. But again, there's certain things you'll never get. And to begin it until the end of trading time, people will always try to do that. But again, you look at the volume to say, okay, I'm not going to initiate any trades because again, I don't want to chase a trade. But what I'm going to do is tighten the stops on what I currently got going on. IWM, same thing. This one kind of, maybe it got you in Friday or Monday. What the hell is today? Friday. And you're just managing your stop accordingly. But the volume, again, this one is more concerning regarding if it breaks below this low of 1384. That's, to me, to say, okay, this could be a really lower high from this point and kind of give you an entry per se. The diamond on the weekly, again, it's lower volume, but it's still not breaking any lower or anything. So you just got to be careful. Again, it's to initiate. Not to initiate any. If you initiate a position here, you have a day or two pullback that breaks the low of a previous high or something. That's to be expected because you got to look at what your entry is. So if this was an intraday chart, I mean, don't look at it the daily, but the chart is the chart. If this was an intraday chart, would you be getting in right here? Some of you guys would have, but I wouldn't. Okay, I would just be waiting for a pullback to give me some type of signal. Again, even if you look at the MAs, you could say, okay, the the 10 is about to cross 50, and you could get crushed again to the short side. Don't look for that type of stuff, but I would wait for some type of pullback. Some people don't like playing pullbacks; they like to trade a breakout. So yes, some people would get in and put their stop below here, but again, all it takes is a little bit of price action to knock you out versus taking a little bit lower risk and not having to worry about the highs, because there's a ton of order. Everybody's looking at this. Everybody's looking at this high right here. So you just got to make it, that you're not doing what everybody else is doing. Apple is continuing to grind higher. Again, I would just be rolling up my stops, maybe looking at, a 30-minute or something like that to say, okay, where am I going to put my stops? Maybe below here, just to tighten them up a little bit, because you should have had a hell of a run. You should have had a hell of a run already. I mean, from 95 to here is a hell of a run. Netflix, you should have had a hell of a run. You shouldn't be, I mean, again, if it could continue higher, but I would be rolling up my stops to, either I would take some position off or I'll be rolling up my stops because, again, how much more do you think is going to go? Tesla actually looked good on the continuation trade. So again, you had the volume matching and increasing volume here. So this is actually a trade that showed a lot of relative strength based on all the other ones, and pretty much came and gave from the last pivot or last high, it's given some separation here as well. So that's actually a good sign. I think this one is looking strong. Solar City, not so much. Priceline, I actually looked at. This might have faded bad, and maybe you got in. And again, you got to remember that it's where's this sound? People are always looking for perfection. In this game, perfection's 50-60%. I want you to hear that out. 50-60% is perfection. Okay, it's not 90%, 75%. People tell you that because they're scalping $1. I mean, if they're risking $1, they're scalping when they get pennies, and they're saying it's a winning trade. That's not a winning trade. Okay, because if you're risking $1 on a full position and you're taking off some at 20 cents, 25 cents, you can't make a living like that. I don't care how big your account is. It's going to continue to churn and churn and churn. maybe you catch a good wave or two and it keeps you in the game. Maybe you catch a wave 3, wave 5 or something like that. But then overall, you're not going to be able to live like that. You want to risk $1 and make $3. Okay, that's what this thing is all about. Okay, you have Citigroup. These things are moving pretty well. Bank of America. See if this one followed through. Yeah, it's getting there. Okay, maybe this higher low right here, aggressive. Yeah, that'd be pretty aggressive right here. But again, maybe. I mean, you couldn't have known the news. So again, you just have to wait, because if you got here and you're trading the breakout, you got squeezed a little bit. So a lot of people use these opening range breakouts, and you got here. I mean, maybe your low is there, but still, this is the price action that you want to be stuck in? I don't think so. You look at Guild. Guild continues to move up. Again, if you have the position, it would basically be, if you got in here, I don't know. You probably would have gotten here, quite honestly, because I don't know unless you're really watching this, if you would have had a position maybe here or even here, because it was just trading sideways. But you got to see what the trend is. I mean, you can see that the weekly looks really good right here. So you have to look at these higher time frames. But again, don't. So what happens in the internet universe is that everybody seems to be making money except for you. That's bullshit. A lot of them are not making money, but they'll post a trade, that they may have been looking at, but they might not be in, or they might just look and see what pops up, and next thing you know, they hashtag pay me on it like an asshole. And then if you're not in it, or you're not used to what the internet has to, but you like, wow, how'd they catch it? And they say, oh, I saw the price action. No, they didn't. A lot of them are lying. Okay, again, it's the risk management and profit management. Again, I did a video on profit management. Probably didn't get as much views and stuff here. It's one of the most important videos. Everybody understands the 1% risk, but if you can't hold for your profit, you won't make any money. And it's something that people don't never talk about. Everybody talks about, want to trade options. People want to learn how to trade options before they learn how to trade. I'm kind of like, I don't get it. But again, it's not for me to get. So, but it's something to think about. If you're listening to this video, is to say, can I risk? What do I risk per trade? So if you're risk, let's look at even like a 5-minute here, right? So let's say you take a 5-minute opening range, right? A lot of people trade that. I don't trade that anymore. I used to. It just got too damn painful. Okay, and just to be quite honest. So let's say you took this, right? You're risking $1.60. Let's just make it $1.60, right? And some of these guys are taking this stuff off once they make it $1. So let's say they took off at the high here. So you got in at 106.75 and 106.40 you're peeling off. That's not even 106.75. Make sure you're not even peeling off at $1. If you're willing to risk this whole candle, which is $1.60, you're not willing to make at least $1.60. So you're not willing to let this go up to almost $8, $8 and a little bit, 108, excuse me, 108, 108 a little bit. Then you're not gonna make any money. You're just not going to make, and if you're willing to say that, then that's fine. But you're not going to make any money. Even if you took off at the high of the day or something like this, you're not going to make any money. And that's the thing you got to kind of look at. Even if you're looking at any time frame you're kind of looking at. You might say, oh, this is sideways, but it's just to talk about the risk per se versus anything else. And that's the thing that you got to look at. Okay, even if something like this, it's about almost $1. You're not going to wait till it gets to, at least $1 or $3. So if you got in here at 103.65, you can't wait till 106.65 here, then you're not going to make no money. So just think about that. I'm trying to talk about this much. We're probably shutting the damn thing off, but this is the truth. People ain't gonna tell you the truth. They're gonna tell you the shit that, oh, you trade options and you make 10% a month or something like that. They never tell you about how to adjust the shit if it goes against you. They just say, oh, put the position on. Or, people talk about just trading the open ranges and stuff like that. Well, if you don't understand price structure and the way the price is moving, I don't care what fucking, opening range you use. You're gonna get hosed. If you don't understand where you are within the trend, you're gonna get beat the fuck up. So I'm ranting, I'm cursing a little bit because I'd rather see people. I see people initiate trades and they talking about the market needs rest. I'm like, then why are you initiating trades? Just tighten what you got going on. So that's my rant. Take care and trade them well. We'll see what happens tomorrow. But again, we looked at the price action. We've been talking about it for days.